Today, we're going to be covering our Ethos series. So one of the topics that's often overlooked when it comes to selecting a general contractor, or really just selecting any company to be able to team up with, would be what entails the overall culture and values of a company. Now, I will say that I was one of the first to be very skeptical in this type of thinking. In fact, it took me about 18 months working with an amazing business coach, as well as an internal team, to be able to figure out truly what set us apart as a company. So I hope that by sharing a little bit about the Rebuild the Block ecosystem and the culture that we've created, that it will help to embolden other entrepreneurs to get started with creating an amazing culture that will allow them to be able to have a thriving culture. But in addition to that, I think it's very important for any of our clients to be able to understand what truly sets us apart and what makes us different, not so much in the overall product that's being developed in the field, but the way that we handle situations internally within our own team, but also within the client interaction and the trade interaction that we have throughout any process or anything that's associated with the business. So the first thing that we want to talk about is what Rebuild the Block's core purpose is. And believe it or not, it took me about a year to be able to put this together. But what's interesting is that the core purpose has always existed through the almost a decade, which we're about to come up on within our company's history. And the first item that we have always stood for is a high quality product. And to put that into a specific statement, our focus or our purpose is to keep craft alive and build high quality homes. So this takes into account a few different things. So what are the top 3 things that help us to keep craft alive? Well, the first is to become experts within our field. We're constantly striving to ingest information that allows us to be able to build a higher quality home. But in addition to that, we've constantly been trying to align ourselves with the appropriate trade partners that have a similar feeling when it comes to building homes. I often get told that our homes just feel different. And one of the things that people can't recognize that maybe aren't in the trade is that we're constantly striving to make sure that the fit and the finish is coming together appropriate at any junction point throughout the house. This would entail slab work, between drywall work, let's say at the fireplace, to our countertop details, to our cabinetry details, to our flooring details, all of which are taking place by a separate trade partner that needs to illustrate the qualities or at least hit the benchmark that we've set as a team for quality within our builds. Regardless of whether they're spec or custom, you know that you're going to get a quality home that's built with the craft in mind. I'd be remiss if I didn't include the importance of having a strong business partner at the beginning of our company that allowed me to truly embody what keeping craft alive meant. He worked in the trades for a number of years and really set the tone for this within our first few employees that we hired, as well as me as a business owner, realizing that we wanted to set ourselves apart by building a quality product. So to close this purpose out, I once was told by a real estate agent that all homes were created equally. They were all built with the same wood, the same concrete, the same drywall, and overall the same finishes. This is a very discouraging conversation that I had early on in the inception of our company, because I knew that it took a small army of the correct individuals to be able to set the tone for the product that's being created in the marketplace. In any industry, there's companies that rise to the top and strive for greatness. And one of the things that we're trying to do and achieve here at Rebuild the Block is to be a great builder, not just a good builder. So we strive to make sure that anyone that walks into our homes takes note of this very important piece, which is to have an amazing product. So the second purpose of Rebuild the Block is to provide opportunities for those that want to be in the trades. Now, some people might ask, what exactly does this mean? And it actually falls into a few different categories. So the first item is that we want to create opportunities for those internally within our company. We feel that as an industry in a whole, that many people are unaware of the opportunities that are created within the trades. And to be honest, traditional education has definitely strained the ability for people to look at this as alternative living to that associated with the traditional route of going to college. Now, I'm not saying that college isn't a huge help and a benefit within our ecosystem of the trades, but what I am saying is that we're trying to provide opportunities for people that want to be here, that want to build an amazing product with us, and that enjoy the overall process of creating something special. Now, whether that be in our plan and development stage or whether that be actually building the product itself, The reality is that we have the opportunity to align ourselves with the appropriate people within our company that love what they do. It's going to be illustrated in the product that we provide. The second piece of that is to provide opportunities for those in the trades that we work with. So this is such a key and critical component. Similar to my comment about every company having a top 10 percentile of people that actually provide a quality product and have a quality brand, the same is true for the trade partners that we want to align ourselves with. Very hard to be able to get a quality product. Simply put, if the companies that we're hiring aren't focused on a quality product. And so by aligning ourselves with people that actually want to be in the trades and have not just found themselves placed in the trades, but are choosing that as a means to be able to provide a livelihood for their employees as well as their company, it really allows us to be able to have proper alignment and be able to provide an outstanding product that helps us to become a great builder versus just a good builder. So why does this matter to our clients? Well, simply put, the majority of our clients are coming to us because they want a quality product and they want to find someone that has expertise in the space that's going to focus on having the ability to complete the project on time, within budget, and with utmost quality illustrated within the final product. So being able to discuss this critical component with our clients, that we're aligning ourselves with trades that also care about those things and that are running businesses as they should versus out of the back of their trucks, really makes a difference when it comes to the scheduling, the communication, and the project management pieces and components that are required within building within the luxury space. So the third reason that Rebuild the Block exists is to end the negative stigma of the construction industry. So what do I mean by this? Well, first and foremost, as mentioned, I feel like our industry has been underserved by the labor market for decades. We want to be able to align ourselves with companies that focus on high level of communication and project management, but also are able to execute at a high level to be able to get our projects complete with the quality that's always top of mind. In addition to that, within our own industry, there's a culture of negative stigma for those that have found themselves placed in the trades. Many times that revolves around the struggles between GC and trade partner that arise within the field, the blue-collared work environment that's been constantly pushed within our industry that sometimes leads to disagreements or lack of understanding during critical stages throughout the project. Our goal is to always be available for our trade partners to be able to answer questions and be able to allow their jobs to run more smoothly. It's a critical piece that's included within every single job description for our internal employees, which is to fill the gaps for our trade partners. In short, as the GC, we're the ones running the project, and we want to end the negative stigma that a trade partner shows up without any direction and then has to come back later to be able to fix errors that might not have been his fault if they were just properly communicated from the beginning. The second item deals with our internal team. We want to end the negative stigma of the building industry by providing amazing opportunities for those that want to align themselves with a builder that truly cares about the overall product that's being produced. We have a vision for our company. We have core purposes and values that are followed that, quite simply put, aren't found often within our industry. But most importantly, ending the negative stigma of the construction industry really takes a focus on the client. I couldn't tell you how many times that I've had a client come in to our office and mention the disaster that took place in previous renovation or construction projects. The lack of communication, the overall frustration that was illustrated in either the quality of the build, the quality of the project management that was associated with the build, the lack of communication on scheduling and budget are just a few that I can name off the top of my head. In fact, recently I was having a conversation with one of our clients as we neared the completion of their project. One of the comments they made to me was, "Don't you ever get angry or frustrated with some of the things that happen on the project or on site with your trade partners?" And I said, yeah, ultimately there are times where there's frustration, but getting angry about the situation typically doesn't solve or gets us to the remedy that we're looking for. She went on to say that every single construction project, of which she was part of many throughout her lifetime, involved a shouting match between client and contractor at some point throughout the project. They went on to say that that never was the case with our team, and they always felt like we were taking care of them and that we had their best interests in mind. I will say that this is a rarity within our industry, but the reality is, as a GC, we act as a liaison or an advocate for our client and their project so that they're able to get the end result that they hired us to be able to accomplish. Now, I'll save this topic for a later date as I could dive into some of the main items that I feel entail removing this negative stigma, at least within our company. But for now, I felt it was important to be able to share the purpose that we bring to our industry, and we're hoping to align ourselves with the appropriate clientele that want a quality product with proper communication and that they value the overall information and the expertise that is provided within our industry of construction when it comes to not only us as a GC, but the trades that we use to complete these amazing homes. So for any of you that are looking to build here in the Valley, that want to team up with a company that truly cares about the industry in which they're representing, reach out to Rebuild the Block at any time to be able to understand what makes us different at our core. Appreciate you following along, and as always, we hope you have a great day.